My name is DJ Wayne Williams, founder of The Chosen Few DJs.
DJ Alan King from Chicago, Chosen Few DJs. Excited to be here in London.
You know, God made me funky.
I actually started the group in 1975, but it wasn't necessarily a DJ group, right? But in 1977 is when I started just having The Chosen Few as a DJ group. I was getting all these gigs and I needed help. And that's the reason I said I want to start The Chosen Few DJ group. And so I just started picking, well, first I picked my stepbrother, Jesse Saunders. And then from there I picked Tony Hatchett. And then after Tony Hatchett, Alan King. And then after Alan King, Andre Hatchett, which is Tony's brother. And then later on, Terry Hunter and Mike Dunn. And so that's how The Chosen Few came to be. We started out by playing new music, and as you heard today, we play mostly new music, you know. Of course, those new records we started playing back then are now classics, right? And but you always find great new music, and that's how we evolve by the music that we find, you know. Obviously in 1970s, we weren't playing Afro House, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the different genres that have come later. Yeah. It started in 1990. And but before in 1989, Jesse my brother gave a party, and you know we were all DJing at it, and it was in the winter time, and it was very cold. And it gets cold in Chicago in the winter time, and we like, and we had, some of us had moved away, but we came together because it was the holidays and did this party, and it was you know, we're like, wow, people still want to hear us play together. And so we said, you know what, we're gonna come together next year and do the party, but we don't want to do it in the wintertime, right? So we said we'll do it in the summertime. And two of our DJs, Tony Hatchett and Andre Hatchett, they used to do a family reunion behind the museum, and they said, well, look, come do it at where we do our family reunion behind the museum, and we'll just tell people that's where we're gonna be. And that's kind of how it started. And it was only 50 people, about 50 people showed up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, in the neighborhood of 40,000. I think it's extremely important. I mean, we like to think, you know, we're a very authentic center of the music and the scene. Obviously, we grew up in it, OGs, and but the event has come to mean so much to so many people across Chicago. I mean, it's a house music event, but at the same time, it's your high school reunion, your college reunion, your fraternity sorority reunion, and you know it's just come to mean so much to so many people in terms of a, you know, peaceful, love-driven event every year in Chicago. So, you know, Chicago gets a bad rap about crime and violence, and you know, not really true. And one of the things we're most proud about, the Chosen Few Picnic, we put, you know, some 40,000 people in a park on the south side of Chicago every year. We've never had any act of violence, no security incidents. So, you know, that's a tribute to the music and the culture.
Because we were at the beginning of the house music movement, right? I think that, and the music that we play, right, and feature and focus on, I think that our event is looked at literally the roots of house music as far as the festival is concerned, right? And because, like you said, we're the OGs of it, right? And being at the first, I was A&R at the first house music label, and made some of the first early house records, and so once you're recognized for that as well, and so, and this is our event, and so I think internationally, you know, I mean, we've had DJs come to us, I mean, huge international DJs saying they want to play our picnic because they want to experience the real Chicago music and the real Chicago people and the roots of house music, and that's how our event is looked at worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons for us. I mean, one of the big ones, our 25th anniversary, which was in 2015 when President Obama was in office. He was kind enough to record a video greeting to our attendees, and we put him up on the jumbotron. And a lot of people think that means he's a house head. I would say he has a healthy appreciation for house music, but I think he was more inspired by the nature of the event, the nonviolent aspect, and it brings people together. For me, that's been one of the most special things about the picnic, is being able to reach out to these legendary performers, whether it's a Thelma Houston or a Stephanie Mills, or but to be able to give them an opportunity to be on a stage again in front of 40,000 people, singing some of their classic records, and it's really cool to be able to not only reach out to those folks, but have them super excited to do it. And so I get a big kick out of that every year. Rochelle Fleming, I mean, you can go on and on. Crystal Waters, of course. And
I tell you another special moment for me, and I'm gonna say for Alan too. I'm gonna speak for you right now, right? Because one of our favorite DJs in the world is Frankie Knuckles, right? And when he played, because he was so busy, DJing around the world, and so we had asked him many times, right?
Sure.
But when he finally had a chance to DJ our event, it was, I don't know, it was something really special about that performance he gave, and I mean, he even said it to us, and we said it to him, and because again, he's one of our favorite DJs, and we were very close to him. Both of us were very close to him. In fact, our whole crew was very close to Frankie.
Sure.
And we're very good friends. And so that really meant a lot.
It was 2011, and we had been trying for a long time, and he desperately wanted to do it, and we finally could make the schedule come together. I think Jamie Principal joined him on stage, and so he did it. Some of their records together live, and so it was really special.
And Alan, we have to shout out Defected, because
I know what you're gonna
daily,
say. Yeah,
the daily.
Yeah, we absolutely have to shout out Defected. So one of the things we used to do, we're not currently doing it, but we did these what we called lunchtime breaks in Chicago, in a very popular location in downtown Chicago, where in the middle of the day on Wednesdays we do our house music sets. And obviously Defected, somehow that came to you guys' attention, and you guys shared it, and then it really went viral, and so we appreciate that. And
and that's what it's about, though.
Yeah,
that the love that you guys showed us, and you really didn't know us. I know you know Terry and Mike, but you didn't know us. And but you showed the love organically, right? And that's what house music is about. It's about the love of the music and the bond that we all share, no matter the race, color, sex, gender. None of that makes any difference to us. It's all about the music, and that showed how genuine you guys were, and we really appreciated that.
For sure.
It's very important for us, the fact that it's both of us, both being Alan's first time DJing in London, right? And but that's because we were very popular DJs at home, and we had residencies, and we were always DJing, so we honestly didn't have a need to go overseas and DJ, honestly. But I think now that who really pushed us, Terry Hunter, Mike Dunn and Terry Hunter, especially Terry Hunter.
Yeah.
He really pushed us, like, man, you guys need to go, travel and DJ around the world. And so Terry Hunter's really been pushing us to do that. Shouts out to
big shout out to Terry.
And so that's a big reason why we're here, and a big shout out to Paris Yvette too, for taking it upon herself to get us to do this Househead London party,
As much as we'd like to, I don't know that I don't know. It's up to you.
Well, yeah, I think we can mention our headline DJ for next year,
Dave
Morales. And he played one other time for us before, right? It was before the pandemic, and when I tell you, wow, did he murder it, right? And he did something I never saw any other DJ do, right? After he DJ'd, the reaction that he had with the audience, he went in front of the turntables, went all the way to the end of the stage, and just held his hands out like that. And when I tell you, those people in Chicago went crazy, they went nuts. Well, from all over the world, because we had people from all over, but they went crazy. I mean, the love, I mean, he literally started, he tearing up, right? And it was, talk about a moment. And so we're very excited about having him back in 2025, you know, very excited.
Absolutely.
There was this import record that I had that was real popular in Chicago by Mock. And and Jesse, back then a lot of DJs used to play out of my crates, right? And I only had one copy of it because it was an import and it was kind of out of print. And so we had a party to do, different parties to do. And he wanted to take my record. I'm like, you can't take my record, right? And he's like, well, why not? I said, I got my own party. He said, well, leave the record and I'm gonna make the record, right? Make it over. I was like, really? I said, okay. I said, but if you do that, you have to make a record for me. And so, sure enough, he did it. And it was On and On, which came out in January of 1984. And that's known as the first house music record. And then mine was undercover. I went under an alias called Dr. Derelict. So Jesse kept up his end of the deal. And I put that record out as the second record, house record. But that's kind of how that came to be, you know?